Good afternoon. So I haven't been editing any of the footage I've gotten because all of my projects are in process. So I haven't really had anything to post. So I'm gonna take my a quarter of the way finished cartridge plating on my petticoat out to the lake by where we have fighter practice. And since fighter practice is cancelled, I have all day until like 7 when work starts. So I thought, why not get medieval or Renaissance? I'm not sure what I'm gonna wear yet. And take you out to the lake with me. Alright. I'm gonna brush my hair and be back in a bit. So I decided to do my early German Renaissance. So what I'm gonna do is take you into my bathroom, which the fan is permanently running in, so I can't get any good audio. I'll show you how I oil and brush my hair and do it up. And then, now that I've got my hemd, which is the German word for shirt, on and my stockings on, everything else I'm gonna put on at the lake. So, here we go. I'll be starting with hair parted in the middle, just based off of what we see in the artwork, and I'm just pulling it up front so that I can start to apply 3 pumps of the argan oil that I use to moisturize my hair. This isn't necessary, I just use it because my hair is so dry and damaged that it needs all the moisture it can get. And then I'll be taking my replica 10th century comb. This is based off of a metal detectorist find in Lincolnshire. And I'll be combing through my hair. And then start an English braid from the nape of your neck. You may be wondering what the ball of yarn is for. That's because I don't like using actual hair ties, despite the one that is omnipresent on my wrist in a lot of my period hairstyling. Instead, I use either flaxseed gel or wool like I'm using here. My hair is fine enough that the wool doesn't felt into my hair, especially since I don't use it for long events. And so what I'm just doing now is braiding down that last third of my hair and then tying off at the ends. And now just do the exact same thing on the other side. Don't worry about making it entirely even. All of this is going to be covered up, and so you don't have to worry about your mistakes as much. If you've watched any of Morgan Donner's Get Ready's with Me's, especially with her Italian Renaissance stuff, you'll know what I'm going with here. Except I don't have to be as concerned about the look of it, thanks to having a Wollstaub over top. The Italians weren't failing, but Germans still were. And I'm securing the braids on the top of my head with U-pins, and then as an extra follow-up, because this is going to take a little bit of adjusting, I'm also going through with wool thread and my null binding needle and sewing my braids into place. Since once again this is all going to be covered up with the headpiece, I'm just tying a bow so that I can find the ends easier and take this out at the ends. And here's the headpiece. This is called my German pronunciation is going to be awful, heads up. It's called a Wollstaub, which is quite literally German for bulge veil, and it's called that because of the structure that you see at the back of the head that creates a little bit more height. And I'm just safety pinning that at the back of the neck because I haven't finished finger looping the ties yet. I believe this is what they call a look. My hat is almost touching the ceiling. So here we are, lake, and I need to check that I'm in frame, so let's go do that. Alright, I am in frame, so let's finish getting dressed. And in editing I realized that the wind was too strong, especially with an uncovered iPhone microphone, so I'm switching over to voiceover for this part. Now, Since this is technically an underwear shoot, I only have one layer to go on top of the hem. That is my light blue petticoat. It's made of Burnley & Trowbridge's lightweight wool stuff and is lined in a heavier canvas, and the skirt is cartridge pleated into place. There are a number of options for the closure on the petticoat. However, due to the amount of adjustments I needed to make to this, there's too much bulk at the front to do the eyelets I had initially planned, and so everything is closed up with hooks and eyes. Normally, this would be the perfect place to stop, but unfortunately, as my hem is so sheer, and as modern society frowns upon the visibility of things like nipples, I have this special flap of fabric that in German is called a Brustfleck, or a breast flap. I'm just tucking that into my petticoat. Normally this would be pinned on top of the petticoat and underneath the gown, but since I'm only going with the petticoat, I have to go and put it somewhere. So it's going into the petticoat and just being held in place with two pins that I've been storing on my sleeve this entire time. I do also have the option of unfastening my hems. I have it pinned in place and you can also see it closed with buttons and period. But since it's quite a windy day, I don't need anything else. Now this look isn't just a Trossfrau underwear. This one also works as a history-bounding outfit. That's because I have no fucks left to give after being in quarantine and I've just started wearing everything in my daily life. So this actually gets a whole lot of wear despite being underwear.